How these ideas are fantastic. Like what you're talking about is at the heart of spirituality. How does academia handle that? Or what has been your experience with academia, and what have been the rough edges? Because, or if there are any, or has it just been this open embrace of these ideas that you're talking about?
I'm laughing because, well, a number of things. First of all, if we talk specifically about mindfulness, it's fascinating because when I started researching, teaching mindfulness as part of the university, the academia, about 15 years ago, people told me, look, Itai, this is all very, very interesting, and this is you're very passionate about this, all very nice, but if you want to have a career, you'd better change the topic because this mindfulness stuff, it's going nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So, who's laughing now? This is incredible. I mean, mindfulness meditation today is one of the most prominent research topics in meditation, right? Numerous interventions, everyone's using it, clinical psychologists, doctors, it's everywhere, right? It's working incredibly well. I think the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of concepts that used to be out of bounds, used to be rejected, used to be not part of our little scientific world, are now okay. They're really okay now. I'll give you another for me a very good example of this process of change. At the heart of spirituality is the concept of self-transcendence, right? So the deeper we go into spirituality, what happens to us is the personal journey of letting go of the self, letting go of the ideas and concepts we have around who and what we are, and moving into this very scary territory where we are less defined, where we are less known to ourselves, which is scary and beautiful at the same time, scary and exciting at the same time, right? Because it is less obvious, and yet at the same time, it creates an incredible openness because then everything's possible, right? Because if I'm not this and that, and I'm truly feeling and understanding that I could be everything and anything, then the potentials of life increase and grow. Why am I sharing all that with you? Because self-transcendence, which used to be a concept that was not studied within psychology at all, is again now super popular research topic in psychology, right? So, for example, in the area of nursing or psychotherapy, the experience of letting go of a known self and the relief that a lot of people feel as a result of not holding such a powerful attachment to the self. We now have very, very interesting both theories and results from experiments showing how beneficial that is, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is something that happened the last 10 to 15 years. So going back to your question, I feel that as years go by, I have much more space to explore. Stuff that I used to teach from the back door, right? Stuff that I used to bring in, the title of the lecture would be, something to do with some social psychology process, and I used to sneak in from the back door the idea of, transcendence or whatever. Now it's out there. Especially, by the way, because I'm a positive psychologist, I can explicitly say that one of the main reasons that I was drawn to positive psychology is because it is such a wonderful home for spirituality. Yeah. So one of the 24 strengths is spirituality, and spirituality is well researched in positive psychology, and mindfulness is a central research topic. So it is even more present there, but it's present now in almost every branch of psychology.
So when you were at the Positive Psychology Association, right, and you were picking, it seemed like there weren't too many topics specifically on spirituality and positive psychology. Like there were a handful, but it didn't seem like there was like didn't grab me.
Right.
What were your thoughts? Yeah, thoughts on that?
Can you tell me what wasn't that didn't grab you? What didn't feel right?
I think what you're talking about right now seems to me to be the core of positive psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It just seems to be like this is if positive psychology were to like you said, the second wave of positive psychology, this were to evolve, like this is what it would be. But it seemed like there's still in positive psychology, there's still this, we want to prove ourselves as a science. Like there's still this like, let's prove ourselves, let's keep it science. But what I appreciated so much about what you are bringing to the topic of positive psychology is saying, look, we can now, like in essence, measure transcendence. And if we're really talking about the human experience, we can also talk about the spirituality and how we bring spirituality into experience. That there still seems to me this this separation between science and spirituality that it's making less and less sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I feel that this is a journey. It's a process. It's not going to happen in a day. Um, it's interesting to contemplate the roots of positive psychology. I would say that almost each and every topic we talk about in positive psychology has been discussed as part of humanistic psychologists at the 1950s and 1960s, right? So we haven't invented the wheel. Almost all of the variables and topics we discussed, were discussed by Maslow and Rogers and Frankl, the incredible giants who led the way. So we're not offering anything new, but I think what positive psychology is offering that wasn't present back then is rigorous scientific research, right? This is the strength, and this is, by the way, this is one of the main reasons why positive psychology is flourishing, because psychology is accepting it as a result of the fact that it's so rigorous in its research. Okay, so I'm just offering this kind of background because it has an influence on what do we accept and what do we feel a little bit uncomfortable with. Yes. However, I can very comfortably say that we are now engaging with topics that are clearly related to spirituality that we've never engaged with before. So, for example, meaning in life, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't it amazing that one of the most powerful human questions were not researched, at least not deeply, properly, until positive psychology came about, right? Yeah. Do you feel that your life is filled with meaning, and how incredible that is from a research point of view, and how we can now show that it has a huge impact on your levels of satisfaction with life and your levels of vitality and your physical well-being and psychological well-being. Everything is impacted by that. But it's not. Sorry, what you gonna say something?
No, I'm just laughing. I'm rereading Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And it's all about like the meaning. He's basically making fun of everyone's search for the meaning of life.
Yeah.
And then the answer comes back as 42.
Exactly.
It's like, and the computer takes 7.5 million years to figure this question out. It's just
exactly.
It's just so right on. It's just so. I just feel like there's this play. That like I feel like what's happening right now in science, like with everything, is that people are allowed to play.
Yes.
Right? It's almost like, okay, so let's and every question now is back on the table.
Yeah.
And it's just and with the technology, like what we're able to do is just like we're just able to play.
Yeah. I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying, and I feel that's very true. I feel that the level of openness we have now with the academia is much greater than what used to be. We're allowed to bring in to investigate questions that were not allowed up to 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes, I think it's a wonderful time to join this game of the academia, because you can explore stuff that we just had our induction day of MAP, the Masters in Applied Positive Psychology, a few days ago, and one of the students came to me at the end of the day, and she said, I knew this would be right for me, but now after this day, I'm ecstatic, because a lot of stuff that I thought I would have to hide, I can now proudly investigate with you guys, and that's amazing.
It's amazing.
By the way, that I've heard a lot from people that this is very interesting, that a lot of the spiritual questions or personal investigations or experiences were hidden because they felt that it's not allowed for some reason, whether it's the parents or their environment or their friends or whatever. And when they do find that there's this kind of openness, they feel validated. That's
Mm.
where they feel validated. They feel, whoa, wait a second, this incredible thing that I felt uncomfortable with, it's okay. Not only just okay, others share it with me, and it's allowed. Yeah.
That's amazing. So